Hey everybody, how are you? Happy Friday. Hey Nick, how are you doing? Saucy, how are you? I'm just going back up and I'm Liza. Happy Friday, everybody. Oh God, this has been the longest week ever. And I've actually only been on YouTube a few days this week. Okay. Nick, to answer your question, I did not hear his live from last night. And first things first, is there anybody who can tell me what is the status of rap? N as damn. How do I say that? Hey, Queen Ashley, how you doing? Okay, I've just got a couple notes because this is not something I typically speak on, nor have I in. It's been a while. So I just wrote a couple things down so that I do not forget. Hey, Prissy, my friend, how are you? Sassy since birth. Please don't count on me to catch anybody up on what's going on. I'm just going to make some generalized observations and thoughts after. Okay, he is in the hospital. Okay, I'm very glad to hear that. And I'll explain the title in a minute. But first, for the benefit of possibly anybody who is listening that doesn't know the backstory and my history, as benign as it is, I'm going to give a little bit of backstory because I don't want anybody to think that I just saw this thumbnail and, wanted some content. Y'all trust and believe when I tell you I could come in this room every single day. I could sit here all day and night and just have a talk. I don't need to drum up shit for content. I have more ideas scribbled down in all my various notebooks that are all over my freaking house. Just please, I have very purposely deferred making any comment whatsoever about anything going on what we'll just call that side of YouTube. Hey, Alabama, how are you? It's nice to see you. It's been a while. Kathy Pease, how you doing, girl? Sorry, y'all. I'm just looking at the chat. Okay. Okay, wait. Do we have two different combos? I think I'm looking at two different conversations in the chat going, wait, what? When did that happen? It's me. It's not you. You guys carry on. I need to not be looking at the chat because you know how I am, you guys. I will look at the chat shortly, but for right now, I just need to get rid of my pony and refer to my little notes. Okay, first, let's do this. Let's do this, shall we? Okay, ready? Take a deep breath. You will know it is time to turn the page when you hear this sound. Oh, namaste. Should we do one more? I think so. Namaste. Okay, let's get this shit show started, shall we? Okay, a little bit of backstory. I think, hold on a minute, you guys. My God, I'm like a little kid in a booster chair when I get in this chair. I got to get situated just right. Um, and I'm sure it was not a good idea to wear this shirt because what you're going to see is me tugging on it every time I move because it's going to ride up on my shoulder and it's going to make me fairly crazy. And another thing I'm going to work on, you guys, I touch my hair entirely too much. I was watching, I told you guys, I always go back, and usually very soon afterwards, after I do a live, I always go back and I watch it again because I want to see, if there was something I should have said differently, handled better, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm gonna need somebody in the chat to give me y'all figure out some emoji to give me when I've done this with my hair for the 347th time in 30 minutes. Okay, that is so annoying, my God. And if it annoys me, I would imagine it probably annoys the shit out of you too. I promise it is entirely one of those kinds of, it just happens. But I don't like the way it looks because it looks like I'm, just incredibly vain. I mean, let's face it, I'm a little bit vain, okay? I admit, but not in the respect, only with myself. I'm critical with myself. But ew, I hate the way that looks. So please tell me, Bench, stop touching your hair. Okay, here we go. I think from the present moment until I decided to start a YouTube channel, I believe my best guess based on I was able to go back and look at Fashionistas, Felons, and Fruit Loops. That channel was started. White Rabbit and I were going to do like a joint venture. Well, thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. And we made that channel to do like watch and react on reality shows. See, now I'm going to be all like, every time I touch it, I'm going to, like a bomb just went off. So from the best I could kind of gauge in my mind, maybe a year and a half. I promise you it has not been 2 years. Hey, Grandma Sherry, how are you? I'm guessing give or take a year and a half. Okay, now it's going to be one of these things where I'm going to do it because I'm trying not to do it. You guys, one time I had an MRI, and when they do cervical MRI, well, the first one I ever had done many years ago, the tech said to me when I was getting ready to go into the tube, now remember, you have to be very still, no movement, and don't even swallow. Yes, I know that's. I know one of the clip channels has a soft spot for me, so she probably won't clip that. Can't speak for the rest of them. And let me tell you something. That is one of those, much like me touching my hair, it's one of those involuntary things where if you've never thought about it, which you don't, because it's just like breathing, you just do it. Your body does it. It's an involuntary response. Well, try having someone tell you that you cannot do it. And then you tell me how hard it is to not do it. And that's kind of what I'm feeling with my hair right now. All right, so let's walk back about a year and a half, give or take. I'm kind of like everyone new on YouTube. I think I said the other day, I thought when I came here that I was going to have a true crime channel. Yeah, well, that hasn't quite manifested. But like everyone, you kind of, it takes time to find your tribe, get in where you fit in. And oftentimes, I mean, people go through different communities. I've only ever been in this one. I did watch a lot of the makeup community before having a channel, but since having a channel, I just don't watch makeup anymore. Ever since Jeffree Star moved to Wyoming, well, damn, all the cool, very dramatic. Who knew makeup? My husband, God bless him. One time he said something about, you mean to tell me these people are getting this wound up over makeup? I'm like, well, honey, you don't understand. Like, it's money and it's ego. Hey, Grandma Sherry, how are you? Texas Tiffany, how you doing? So one of the very first, well, what do we call it? Like, we're all in the same community, but one of the very first groups that really kind of, well, I don't know, they kind of, well, they kind of took me in. It was, I always say that YouTube is very much, listen, make no mistake about it. YouTube is a team sport. And I'm not talking about going on channels or having a channel where there's open panel. I don't, when I say team sport, that's not what I mean. And anybody who tells you different is lying. Because and everybody, like any kind of organized sport, some people are far more talented than others. You've got the captain of the team, and then you got the kids who ride the bench. And the smart ones figure out how to make alliances that may or may not turn into friendships. Sometimes they're only online. I'm not going to say that term for it, because I hate it and it makes me think of parasites, and I don't want to be thinking about that. Hi, good Gumby, how you doing? Oh, that's okay. Just walk and listen. Lost mother of one. Good morning. How are you? Catherine, how are you? Oh, Liza, I love me some Jeffree Star. Let me tell you. I actually bought some of his makeup for the first time not too long ago. He makes good products. Okay, so as I was saying, I have always found YouTube to be, I think, the most successful YouTube channels. I mean, I don't know what all the keys to success are, but I do know that very much some of the essential elements to the recipe are your ability to make alliances while not alienating other people who may not get down with people you're tight with. Y'all know what I'm saying. I'm not putting it very artfully, but you get it. Hey, Tia, how you doing? Cheryl Manzella, how are you? So yeah, and listen, even when I was very green, I think I said the other day in my Prayer Garden of America story, I figured out after I drugged that nasty, vile, illiterate bitch, after I drug her for filth one day for listening. I mean, anybody who told me, was it Kathy P, did you tell me? I know nonsense for sure, but I think Kathy P, were you another one who said, oh my God, I had never heard of that woman until I saw you talking about her. So anyone, well, let's just put it this way. She's so fucking traumatizing to normal people that your first encounter with her, well, you remember it. It makes an impression, because most of us, if we're lucky, we don't know anybody like this in our real life, because, she's just that far from being housebroken and considered fit for civilized free society, in my opinion. So much like I found out that people they absolutely sat up and took notice. Okay, Kathy, it was you. Yeah. So you especially since it's so in the such recent past. Well, just think of your how you felt when you first heard Prayer Garden. So much as I saw that, oh damn. Okay, well, when I made the first video about her, before I saw the reaction it got, I said, this is the first of one. I am never speaking about this disgusting bitch again. Until I saw the number. And then I believe the title of video number 2 was I lied, dot, dot, dot. And there we go. So after that, Prayer Garden was truly my first, the light bulb came on, because I can tell you this, I had watched YouTube for years. Anybody who's a creator and was first just an observer, such as myself, they will all tell you those two worlds, they bear little resemblance to one another. The only common denominator is the server called YouTube and the platform. One doesn't relate much to the other. Oh, happiest guy in the world. How are you, my friend? I saw you this morning. We saw each other at Vinny G's this morning with the. Oh, I love that. My God, in the morning, he picks the best tunes. I need to listen to more music. Okay, where was I? All right, so much as I, the light bulb went off, and here's how I looked at it. Okay, well, let's see. I see this group over here. I see what kind of numbers these people have. I see their subs. And I did that with everybody. And here's how I approached it and how I continue to approach it. And listen, you guys, this is me. Okay, you get me. You're not getting a watered down version of me. I do try and hold back a little bit on some things. Let's just say I say things more artfully on here than I do when I'm sitting on my couch screaming at the TV. Please do not take any of what I'm going to say to mean that the people that I align, that I like and respect on YouTube, who I've never met anyone on here in real life. There are some people I talk to outside of YouTube. Prissy is one of them. Heels in the Air is another one. But the way I try and approach this is, and the way I did back then, when I find that I can connect with another creator who is aligned with my thoughts and feelings, and I try to make it not just on one thing. It's got to be more than just a one and done. Or I will just say, listen, I don't really know this person, but I heard their thoughts on XYZ, and I very much feel the same. Hey, Silent Troll, how are you? Y'all, give me 1 second. I just remembered I want to do something. Please put a pin in that thought for me, what we were just talking about, so that I don't forget. Y'all know that happens to me. Okay. So that is not to say that I love the phrase that I heard, and I think I saw it for the first time on Queen Bee, get in where you fit in. That is not to say that the places you see, put it this way, if you see me in a chat on the regular and I am participating, for extended periods of time, then I have a genuine like and respect for that channel. Okay. I don't want to come across, I'm trying to be honest about how I go about things on here because, I mean, to me, this is a game. Okay. That is not to say that there's not truth in, maybe I shouldn't use the word game. It's a strategy. Okay. We are all on here trying to do the same thing. We all know, for anybody to try and tell you that you don't align with people, we all do things for, in my perfect world, I like you very much. I have respect for you. And what I was getting at with the history with me and, Rap's side of YouTube, it kind of went like this. I just lost. It's like I'm not explaining this right. I do not want this to come off like, hey, listen, I don't give a shit about anybody on here. I'm here for number one. We're all here for number one. Okay. But in my opinion, the people who get where they want to be or who are headed on the road they want to be on, getting, seeing the destination. When I have the opportunity to speak out and align my thoughts and beliefs with another channel, that's what I'm going to do. And if it's a mutual kind of thing, well, quite naturally, at some point, they're going to shout you out. Okay, that's the best way I know to put it. It may not have been very artful. I hope it doesn't come across as me saying, listen, the only reason I'm, saying you're my tribe or you're my peeps, is because I want you to help me, grow my channel. But it's not, Nick, you got it right. It's networking. Okay. But listen, here's the thing. I can only speak for myself. What I'm never going to do is align with people just because they say to me, hey, if you want to collab or something like that, on XYZ, well, I'll help you. Hey, I'll shout you out. You'll grow your channel. I honestly, that's not, of course I would like that, but I am not guided by that at all. So all of this was to say, my first tribe was Rap, Benny Keys, Nicolina, and all the subs that went with them. They were all generous and shouted me out, not excessively. Interestingly enough, the one who really shouted me out all the time was Crafting Through the Lies. And I don't know why. But I was very new, and I actually got backlash when that whole shit show came to light. I actually had a few people question me, like, oh, well, it's pretty interesting that a new creator on the scene and she's shouting you out every single show, and she did. And I took it and said thank you. But I really was. Did I talk to? I think the only person I ever, Nicolina was the only person I ever talked to outside of YouTube. And that was a few text messages and I think one phone call over, I don't know, maybe a few weeks period of time. So when all the shit was going on with Jimbo and Ernie, had Benny's daughter on panel. I did a video about that. listen, whether you like me or not, I don't think there's too many people who would accuse me of being dumb. And I think that it probably, well, I know how I would pick people for my team, okay? And obviously when you have it, and I'm not saying I was on a team, but if I was, well, you know, you want people who have all different talents. So I realized quickly, okay, I already feel this way anyway. I couldn't stand fucking Bullhorn Betty. The Jimbo Ernie thing, oh my God, that was gross. I saw that if I could take things that my thoughts and feelings already aligned with theirs, and I did, at the time, I only did videos. Well, eventually I figured, you know what? Eventually it's going to get the attention of someone, and they're going to kind of say, oh, come sit over here at our table with the cool kids. You get it. Alabama, you got accused of that? Listen, I was as shocked as anybody when that happened. And I truly, to this day, I don't know why she did all that. And she really did. I mean, it was like every single night. If anybody ever hears someone call me Lisa Versace, that's because Crafting Through the Lies gave me that nickname. Hey, next to Red. So next to Red, I don't have a team either, but we all have a group, a tribe. That's what I'm calling it. And that, you know, I don't know what else to call it. It is what it is. So that was my first group. I was green as hell. I really did not have not to say I have any kind of inside baseball now, I do not, but I definitely have, I have let's just say there's a body of work I can draw as reference, and I know just exactly how far people will go, the insane shit they will say and do, blah, blah, blah. Okay? How would I not have that? So when I say I spent a lot of time with Rap, I did, but not in his living room. I'd be working, I'd be doing whatever I was doing, and I listened to Rap. At the time, they were all together. Rap, Benny Keys, and Nicolina. And there was always something about Rap that I just really liked. And interestingly enough, I think I kind of first talked to Nicolina in Rap's chat, I think. And it was the laugh, okay? That's what it was. It was the laugh. He had a good energy. He was funny. He really was. Rap was very funny. And you know what's crazy? I saw he went on camera the other day, and that was not what I pictured at all. Okay, so that's kind of the history of that. Those were my peeps. Meaning nothing more than I was a mod in Nicolina's channel. I was a mod in Rap's channel for a very short period of time before the parting of the ways happened. I think Nicolina was like the first person to mod me. And then I remember when Rap did, I had made a video dragging Jimbo and Ernie, which I stand by, over having Benny's daughter on panel multiple times. I thought that was so filthy, foul, disgusting, and vile, and I stand by that. Well, that was the point after I made that video. I was in Rap's chat. Coco was there on panel with Rap and Benny. And Benny actually, for the first time, acknowledged, videos I had made that were where my thoughts and his were aligned. And Rap modded me during that live. And then very shortly after that, the parting of the ways happened. And I was still was I smaller than, might have been about the same number I was at now, maybe a little more, minuscule, okay, invisible. And many of those subs came from all those people shouting me out. Now, Benny was, of all of them, a couple times, he would say. And I think I had a wrench in his chat for not long at all. Maybe, I don't know, weeks. But when the parting of the ways happened, I knew, oh boy, this is not going to be good. And I knew, quite naturally, pick a lane. Anybody who was in that group, and I was on the fringes of that group, okay? I was not deeply entrenched. I hadn't even been here that long. And they didn't know me like that. And they weren't telling me. I was not in the inner circle, okay? And I don't want anyone to take anything I'm saying as that, because it certainly was not. But I just knew, because I'm older than a lot of them. And I have a lot of life experience. So I knew you got two choices here. You're either going to pick, at the time, it was only pick between BK and Nicolina, because Rap was still with Nicolina. So I knew there's your two choices, and they're both going to suck, because I liked them both. And I knew that more than likely it might not happen immediately, but whoever you picked, well, even the person you didn't pick, eventually they're probably going to come for you. So it was going to be that. I was either going to pick or do what I did, which was completely 100% remove myself from all of them. And that's what I did. I didn't go in Rap's. I didn't go in Nicolina's. I didn't go in Benny's. I didn't go in anybody's chat that was, part of that tribe. That is just how I thought was the best way to handle it. Okay. So that's the history. That is why I'm going to speak on this, because anybody who wasn't around back then, and that channel, that is the channel that I blew up. It was completely deleted. So I don't want people that are sub to me now who were not around back then and don't know any of the backstory of why would I be speaking on this. I did not just see this thumbnail and say, oh, well, this is going to be something to give me some views. No. So let me just say hi. There's a few names in the chat I haven't seen before. GP the OG, welcome. That's a new name I haven't seen. Ginger Snap, how you doing? Hey, Buttercup baby, long time no see. Okay, LG, how are you? Oh, Curious Idea, how you doing? Oh, thank you. Good luck at your appointment. Sally Grassa, how are you? Boston Nick. You think you know me from back then? I don't think we know in real life. Tell me. You can tell me outside of here if you want to. Okay, so I think if I missed you, pardon. Oh, hey, Peepee Gate, how you doing? Yes, thank God it's Friday. Jesus, girl, you're not kidding. Okay, so that's a backstory. And the last I'm going to say about that, about the history, is what I've said before and what I'm going to say now. I have no animosity or issues with any of the people I just spoke about. So I am aware of, oh, and Smoky Mountain Mama, I was long gone before rap. I have no clue when they got together, but I was long gone. Of that I know. And I've never interacted with her. I have seen her in a chat. I popped into raps probably, oh God, it's been a while. Not long after I came back this last time. But let's just say I saw Rap around a couple different places and I said hello to him, and he always pretty much just gave me, he didn't do that, but he wouldn't speak to me. Like, he totally snubbed me. And it wasn't just a one-off. I saw him in Constance's once. I went in his chat once. I know I saw him at Prissy's. And yeah, he wouldn't even acknowledge my existence. So I was basically like, listen, punk, I'm just fucking being polite like people do. It's all good. Don't worry. So I am aware of Smoky Mountain Mama and the allegations that were made. I know about that she lost her husband and how she lost him. I did listen to her on Jimbo's, much as it pained me. Curiosity got the better of me, and I listened. I'm going to say right here and now. Okay, wait a minute. Let me just, let's back up a minute. Hold that thought, and I'm going to back up just a second because, okay, wait, got that done. My personal opinion and how I handle myself on here, y'all, you do you. I'm not telling you what to do, but my personal opinion is that there is way too much oversharing that goes on here. I think that this platform, it's almost used by lots of people seem to use this as combination dating site, therapy group, and there's nothing wrong with that. It just seems odd to me that I don't know. Is there a community of like dedicated? There's got to be, like, SA survivors or maybe adoptive parents group. Not that adopted kids have anything to do with what I'm going to talk about, but I'm just trying to make a point. Especially the more you're on here and the more you get to learn the lay of the land. Although even when you think you've got the topography figured out, oh no, then something comes along and yeah, everything you thought you knew, you probably don't know. Eric W., how are you? Hi, Kathy. Yes, happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody. I forgot. Sassy since birth. So yeah, that's kind of how I and listen, it's a delicate, it's a balance, because let's face it, this is a personality driven platform. We are all selling you parts of ourselves. I mean, it might not be a very artful way to put it, but that's what it is. And the balance, where the balance comes in, and I mean, what I try to do is be authentic, be myself, but I don't owe you any of my, unless I bring it here to YouTube, I do not owe you any details about my life, and you don't owe me yours. I have said a million times, hey, Quirky Carolina. Oh, we meet again. I have said many times, and I'm going to keep saying it. When I hit end broadcast and I walk out of my office, I'm done. I would not cross my street to cause you a problem. If Inspector Gadget was across the street and was holding a treasure box with all your dirty laundry, I wouldn't walk over there, because it's not, to me, the only thing that is fair game on here is what we bring of our past, our present, our laundry. There are certain things you have never heard me talk about, and you're not going to hear me talk about, because it's none of your business. And that's not because I have anything to hide. That's because I'm 53 years old. I didn't grow up in the internet age. I thank God pretty much nightly that social media wasn't around when I was in my very younger years, having bad behavior that young people do. So I still value my privacy. If you want to come and dump all of your personal business, your laundry, all over YouTube's floor, well, then it's fair game. Now, that is not to say that I feel like just because somebody dumps their laundry on my floor, that I have to go through it and fold it. I can leave it in a pile and walk right on by every day. And trust me, I've done that many times. This place, certain parts are very much like, there are some sick mofos on here. Okay, there's a lot. There's people on here who need to get a grip. Like, you need to find a shrink. There are some very ill people on here who, it seems like they cannot separate this online YouTube life with real life, or maybe they don't have a real life and this is their everything. Hey, you do you. But I am talking about this because it's all been put out here as public knowledge. I didn't go looking for this, and I've ignored everything, and it really hasn't been any of my business. I don't even know some of the people involved. Hey, Amberly. Hey, Sue, how are you? I thought I saw somebody else. Okay, so hold on. Let me just consult my little notes. Okay, we got the oversharing. Okay, got that. Okay. Here's what I have heard just in passing in the last. Hey, I am. Good morning. Morning, Glory. How are you? So since I came back to YouTube, I have not, I popped in Benny's once or twice. I went into Nicolina's once or twice. I did pop into Raps. This has been a while back. This has been like right after I came back. The most information that I have gotten on Rap and the situation with his former fiance, and I'm stating right here and now, I did listen to her on Jimbo's. I have never met her. I have never spoken to her, not in a chat, not anywhere, not in a boat, not with a goat. Um, I found her to be very credible on Jimbo's, but I don't know her. I have no reason to disbelieve her. And that was the position I took. But you have not heard me say one word about any of this. Because up until what happened, I guess it was this morning. Was it this morning? It was the video titled Goodbye. Basically, my position has been you cannot be in this community in any like meaningful way without hearing on the fringes things about what, the whisperings about what's been going on. So I listened to her on Jimbo. I found her to be very credible. I did hear him on, what is it called? Something and the Percy, what's that channel called that Rap went on to tell his version of events? The something cray, something like that was a creator I had never heard of before, never listened to before. I did not listen to all of it, and I didn't go looking for it. Once the good old algorithm, I am not sub to Jimbo. I don't like, that's not my tribe. And that's not a condemnation of him. That's just, that ain't my scene. So I'm not sub to him. And I know that is just nothing but, that's just DEFCON 4 drama all day, all night, all the time. That's, hey, whatever. That's their jam. That's what they do. But like I said, once I listened to Smoky Mountain Mama on there, and I went and found. But then this other channel where Rap went, okay, that's it. Not today in the cray. That just popped up in the good old algorithm. So I did listen to it. I did not listen to every bit of it. There were things that he said that I could dance with. Like they didn't sound, there were things that sounded reasonable to me. Explanations. And I don't mean about the most serious things. I'm just talking in general. But there were also things that I heard him say that had me go, what? Yeah, no. That doesn't sound right. But at the end of the day, I don't have a dog in the fight. Hi, Sticky. Obviously, any woman or person, for that matter, who has been violated by another against their will, well, that person who did that needs to go to prison. Goodbye. I have no reason not to believe what she said. I don't know her. So I said nothing. And what I'm speaking on today has nothing to do with anything involving Smoky Mountain Mama or what happened, because I don't know either one of them. And that's all I'm going to say about it. That's as far as I am willing to go. I understand that anybody who was involved in that community, or that, let's just say that neighborhood, who were able to come together in solidarity because they had a common horrible thing that happened to them, I completely understand how that would trigger. And listen, y'all have probably heard me use that word. Oh, I don't know, maybe once or twice before. Words like gaslight, trigger, there's another one. Oh, virtue signaling. Listen, I don't come from this time where we had all these buzzwords. We had our own words for it. So I would never, that is not my experience, okay? I thank God I have never had that experience. So all I can do is say, I completely understand how another woman who's walked in those shoes can, even though it's not her situation, whatever is going on between those two, I absolutely understand how a woman not involved in it, but who shares that experience can look at him and say, you're a piece of shit, and I hope they put you under the jail. And she's not standing there saying, taking a more, observer's approach like I am. It hasn't been my experience, but I understand the women who feel that way, okay? I'm just not going to say, I'm not going to say any more than I did where that's concerned. So somewhere along the way, and those are truly the only two things I have listened to about any of this until maybe a couple days ago when Rap came up in the queue and something about the beach. He was going to take a walk on the beach. Somewhere along the way, I heard from more than one. Well, hell, I think it came out of his mouth on the Cray Cray Ladies channel, that he has documented mental health issues. Bipolar is what I have heard today. Excuse me. Oh. Damn it. Sorry, you guys. I've still got this scratchy throat, and it's. Ugh. So, whether it's bipolar or not, I am aware that he has a documented mental health condition. I am not saying that because that's an excuse for anything he may or may not have done. Okay? I'm just saying it's just part of the backstory of what I know. So I am aware that there is some mental health issue. I believe he is supposed to be medicated for it. I don't know if he is. So this morning, I see the goodbye. Well, like I said, he's come up in my queue the last week, maybe. And apparently, it looks like he's in Florida somewhere. I think he said he was in Florida. When I saw him the other day, he seemed pretty, he was pretty even keeled. Hey, Platform Boots, how are you? And listen, to tell you the God's honest truth, why I've even clicked on any of his thumbnails lately, for the same reason. I used to say this about Benny Keys, and I think it still holds true. I am very fascinated by people like Benny Keys, who, in the respect that I have many times called him the YouTube Phoenix, no matter what happens, whatever scrape he may get into, whatever, whatever foible he may make, it seems like they will never take him down. And not only will they not take him down, he'll get back up and like Steve Austin, the $6 million man, we will build him better. And I don't even go to Benny's channel anymore. Okay. I don't. I have no affiliation or association with that side of the neighborhood. But it's just, to me, how I see him. And when I saw that Rap seemed to be back in the saddle after everything that came out, curiosity, truly, is what got me to click on those couple thumbnails earlier in the week. And it really was. I was kind of thinking, is he going to be like Benny Keys? Is he? Because listen, if you've ever listened to him and spent any time over there, I mean, I don't think I would be lying or exaggerating to say there is something about him that, well, what I always used to say about Benny is that there's something compelling there. And Rap is a totally different, in my mind, for different reasons. With Rap, to me, it's more that I wanted to see, after everything that has come out and what he himself acknowledged on that Cray Cray channel, I wanted to see, is he gonna come back from this and get back to where he was, or maybe even bigger? And where is his headspace? That's kind of, it was nothing more than curiosity. Believe me when I tell you, that's not me endorsing him or denigrating anything Smoky Mountain Mama has said. I don't know the woman. So it was really just curiosity. I heard him, I don't think it was yesterday, maybe 2 days, a day or two before that. I don't know. And it was just very briefly. And he was talking about going to walk on the beach. I think he was in a car. And why I clicked on the thumbnail was, hey, Cheesy Weezy, how you doing? When I saw how many people were, you know how it shows when you're live, how many watching? I sat back and I was like, well, shit. Obviously somebody is forgiving him or planting their flag on his side of the field. But I've been so far out of all that for so long that it was, like I said, it was just curiosity. And I was just lurking. I was not in the chat. And I thought he sounded pretty good. I mean, he sounded, he sounded like kind of like a, maybe, has he been reading Betty's book? And then we fast forward to this morning, to the video. I guess it was this morning. Maybe it was last night. Shit, I don't know. It wasn't live. I know that. It was entitled Goodbye. I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. Very dramatic. And it was like 23 minutes. And call it I don't know how old Rap is, but I'm pretty sure I'm probably old enough to be his mom. He had some screenshots up there. I don't know if they were the real deal. And I don't know the people who were, I think it was just two different people. I think, were they from the comment section? I don't think they were from a text. I think they were from the comment section. And I saw that and I was like, wow. And hey, I'm not the moral police. You do you. But let me tell you something. If you are cheering someone on to unalive themselves, well, you might be a little too overly involved. Because that, if the woman who accused him is not doing that, then why the hell are you? And it's a rhetorical question. I'm not looking for an answer because I don't give a shit what the answer is. It's just an observation. Hey, little Boston, how are you? Now, there are parts of that. Let me tell you where, because when I thought, oh, here we go again. And why always the fucking antifreeze? Okay. This is kind of what, to me, this is not an issue of whether it was real or it was for attention. Clearly it's for attention. The guy is going off the fucking cliff. He's over the cliff. Okay. I don't have a dog in this fight, except I'm a member of the fucking human race. And I think when we've gotten to the point where we are laughing and encouraging someone who clearly is a flawed person, like we all are, this is not, I cannot say this enough times. This has nothing to do what I am saying. I would be saying the same thing. Even if he had charges pending on him for what he has been accused of. It's not about that. There is no one who is all good or all bad. Well, maybe I need to walk that back. There are, but I think those people are few and far between. And the title, I don't think it showed up all the way, but it says rap. Whatever the truth may be, it's a rap. He rap. You need to get off of YouTube. This is not the place for you to be right now. Probably not anytime. And to see people, I'm not even going to repeat it. It was vile. My personal opinion, he is very troubled mentally. That is clear. Whether these accusations are true or not. And I don't have an opinion one way or the other. It is not my business. But rap, I guess I would ask you this question. First of all, in the beginning, I was like, oh my God, dude, suck it up. Put your big boy panties on and get on with your life. We've all had a broken heart. Do you love your former fiance more than you love your children? Because you shouldn't. I mean, those are two. Listen, I have a husband and I have a child who's a whole grown ass man. And I love my husband in a very different way than I love my child. I mean, the love you're supposed to have for your children is unbreakable. There's not a thing in this world my child could do to make me not love him. That doesn't mean that I would support. I'm not one of those mothers. I never have been, and I'm never going to be. I don't co-sign shitty behavior. I never did. I was that mother that if my kid came home and the teacher put a note in the folder or whatever the case may be, I always, without fail. It didn't happen often, just stupid kid shit. But my son went to private school, Catholic school, they don't fuck around. if you have what it was nothing like what you can get away with in public schools here. So when I say it was petty, stupid shit, like talking in class, yeah, that kind of stuff. Without fail, I always turned to him and said, you're going to go into school tomorrow, and the first thing you're going to do is you're going to apologize to the teacher for, needing to send this note home. And the next thing you're going to do is you're not going to do it again. Understood? Like I have never been that mom, because that's how you raise a decent kid who doesn't end up being a fucking serial killer. But that's a whole long ass way from not co-signing bad behavior. Yeah, I am absolutely. Discipline is part of being a good parent. It's when you want to be your kid's buddy. I told my son a million times, I ain't your friend. I'm not here to be your friend. You got friends at school. You'll have friends your whole life. They'll come, they'll go. I will always be here, no matter what. So, Rap, my personal thoughts, just based on the little bit I've seen and I know, I think it's all a lot of high dramatics. And let me tell you something. I'm not convinced that this is the scenario. If you have manufactured all of this as a way to make a YouTube comeback, you are more ill than I think you are, and get help. Me, my words of advice for you as someone who, like I said, how old is he? What is he, 30, early 30s? I think I heard like 32. Let's say if he's 32 years old, I'm old enough to be his mom. I could be his mom. And I don't doubt, obviously you loved Smoky Mountain Mama. I guess. I don't know if you did or not. I know you think it's love. But in light of what she has been through, I don't know how you sit and tell anyone that you have that kind of deep, undying, and abiding love for her if you would inflict on her what she's already been through once in her life, as well as her children and yours. Shame on you. Put your fucking big boy pants on, whatever your problem is. Your kids need you. I mean, I cannot believe I hope that this is not just all a damn ploy. But no matter what it is, whether it's a ploy to make a comeback, whether it's you really are just that broken inside. Because here's what I don't believe. What I don't believe is that he wants to die. Because, Rap, there are very sure and effective ways to make that happen. And I am not telling you that I want you to do that. And anybody who does, shame on you. That's disgusting. If you, as a viewer or a creator, but I believe this was viewers, if you are that invested in this man and this woman who was his former partner, if you are that invested in seeing the destruction and the demise of another human being that you don't know what happened. Well, then you should call the same facility and get yourself some help, because that is next level sick. Okay, that just is. That is vile. Now, coming from someone who he victimized, that I can rationalize more. Okay, I'm not going to say I would endorse it, but I could understand it. I could understand lashing out like that. So whatever the hell is the reason behind this, because to me, it's all attention driven. And, I obviously the meds are not dialed in if he's not taking them, or whatever the case may be. And listen, there are tons of people who need to take these medications. There is no shame in that. But what you do not need to continue to do is to come on YouTube. I mean, and let's think about all the people who have dealt. I mean, it's pretty rare to meet a person in this world who has not had unaliving touch their lives, whether closely or on the fringes. So all the people who have to then be traumatized by what you're doing, it gives them flashbacks of what they've endured. It's so wrong. This shit is so wrong on so many levels. And there was a part in there, I did see him, pour the antifreeze. And Brad, let me tell you, just because the little silver seal on the neck of the bottle is broken, that does not prove that you actually ingested some. Did he actually drink it live on camera? I hope not. But you're a mess. Okay, whatever has driven this, whatever the reason, you need to get off YouTube. You have children that you need to get your shit together for and be a father to. So there's a couple reasons that I'm not, hey, Zen11, how are you? NorCal girl, welcome. Business, did I already say hi to you? I hope I did. Oh, PP Gate, thank you for putting that in the chat. Yes, 988 crisis helpline. What's very interesting is when this story came out, it was very encouraging and kind of, I hate to use the word heartwarming, but I think it was Justin Bishop. Welcome. Oh, good for you. That's amazing, Justin. There you go. It can be done. You can wrap. Dude, your ship is sinking, okay? You have got to get off the internet. It is going to be your destruction. It already has been. But what I was saying is, I really found it encouraging, and it, call me naive, but it gave me a little warm fuzzy inside to see that people who had no use for one another were able to come together to support Smoky Mountain Mama. No questions asked. She has chosen to handle that situation in the way that is best, that she has deemed best for her and her family. And who the fuck am I or you or anyone else to question that? So that has no bearing on what I'm going to say about him. If she is not sitting in there wishing him to drink antifreeze, then I don't feel like anybody else has the right to be doing that. And, you know, is the man, I mean, are we wishing death on him? Is it going to be a spectator sport? Because I personally believe this is all for attention and due to whatever his mental issues are. But it's like fucking gladiator fighting. Eventually, maybe he makes a mistake and he goes too far. You do you. I would never want that on my conscience, ever. Let me tell you something. Short of somebody unaliving someone in my family or my closest friends, there is nothing in this world that is going to have me sitting on a public platform wishing death on someone who is clearly melting down in an epic kind of way. That's just how I feel about it. Yeah, Justin, I'm not known for holding back. Listen, I try and do it I have sat by. I have not said one word about anything going on with any of this situation because it really isn't my business. I don't have a dog in the fight. And being a decent person, I would never. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, she made the allegation. She is handling it in the way that she thinks is best. And I'm fine with that. But that is a whole nother bridge too far to then see what he's doing and say, oh, yeah, you know what? Drink that. Something, I don't even remember what it said. It was foul. It was foul. So to me, anybody who is friendly with him, if you care about him and if you care about her, I mean, whether she wants to ever have anything to do with him ever again in her life, which is none of our business. But even if that's what she wants, do you think that I can only go based on how I heard her speak and what she said on Jimbo's channel, and I take her at her absolute word that is gospel as far as I'm concerned, as to how she has decided to handle. This is her life and it's her situation. And do you really think that it would be a good thing for her, whether she ever wants to lay eyes on him again? Do you really think that would be a good thing for her in her life to have to go through that again? Because, I think it's for attention. But what do I know? I'm not a doctor. I'm not in his life. I'm not in his channel. I don't know jack shit. I'm just sitting on YouTube watching it happen. I mean, I don't know if anybody's noticed, but, society seems to be falling the fuck apart. Do we get this? Like, Every day, there's just a little bit less humanity in this world. I mean, we are at a place in society where random shootings, mass shooting events, live shooter events, they don't warrant more than, a crawler on the Chiron, unless, a certain amount of people are gunned down. It's happening. My God. It's why I don't watch the news. But it is happening more and more and more. And we just get more and more and more desensitized. It's the norm. And you are aware, right, that this little box that I'm talking to you from, well, this little box to me has played a very large part in the breakdown of society as we knew it. Our human attachments get further and further and further and further apart. We don't want to talk to people on the phone, text me. We don't even have to go, kids don't even have to go to school anymore in a building. They can go in their living room, which, in light of all the horrible tragedies that take place on the daily in the world, that might not be a bad thing. But it is absolutely the breakdown of society, because technology has allowed us to have less and less and less and less human interaction. Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. Well, Ted wasn't all wrong. Obviously, the way he went about things was horrific. And he's exactly where he needs to be. But let me tell you something. If you don't know much about Ted Kaczynski, he was brilliant. Like next level, cray brilliant. I have a family member who's like that. I'm talking somebody who doodles and comes up with like algebraic and shit that looks like hieroglyphics, like another language, like a formula. Oh yeah, I just jotted this down for. Okay. Ted Kaczynski saw all this coming. He really did. I mean, now clearly I'm not endorsing Ted Kaczynski. And I'm sure nobody who ever has listened to me and knows anything about me would think I was. But Ted, yeah, he's in prison. He's still alive. Yeah, so it just, I mean, when's it going to be enough on here? It's like, what has to happen for people to take a step back and go, okay, hold the phone. This is not my life. I do not know these people in real life. This does not affect me. This is not my problem. I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, I think I've said it all. I hit the highlights. I mean, rap, God helps those who help themselves. Help yourself and quit paying your internet bill. Dude, I can tell you as sure as I am sitting in this seat, as someone who's probably about 2 decades older than you, who's lived more life than you. You want to know the God's honest truth? What I was saying to myself as I was listening to him the other day. I think he was on the beach, or he said he was going on to the beach. He wasn't on the camera. I mean, he came on for a minute and then he went off. I swear to you, as he was talking to someone saying, yeah, I know, every day's a new day. Like, kind of like the, hey, headstones. It's Crimes and Fashion. It's, hey, Nick, or DisIam. Can one of you put my email in the chat? I would do it, but my nails, it'll take me forever. But it's crimesandfashion@protonmail.com. Proton has .com, and then it has like there's two different ones. Just make sure it goes to crimesandfashion@protonmail.com. Oh, and yes, I did see the cotton candy hair. Stand by, because in about, I'd say give it a week, depending on how much she washes her hair. Yeah, that's going to be a shade of some bizarre, like, rusty color. Oh shit, what was I saying? Hell, I don't know. But yeah, wrap. Oh, I was saying, as someone who's quite a bit older than you, who's lived more life than you, and who's had an interesting life, I might add, and known people up and down the spectrum, the rainbow, every socioeconomic class, every intellect from here to there, and everything in between. Dude, you are acting like a middle school boy who's had his heart broken. Hand to God, what I was actually saying to myself as I was listening to him interact with somebody in his chat who I think was trying to give him the pep talk about, oh, hey, you'll be fine. I was thinking to myself, Rap, buck up. Take your walk on the beach, and I'd give it about, less than a month, and I wouldn't be surprised if you just walked right into your next girlfriend. That's what I was thinking, because that's life. Everybody has had a broken heart. Whether it was your fault, their fault, both your faults, whatever the case may be. You can't keep doing this shit. I mean, what do they say? Fuck around, find out? Well, to me, at this point, it doesn't matter what his reasoning is, because whatever it is, whether it's to build a channel and get a bunch of views and then make more money, if it's, attention as a way to, manipulate Smoky Mountain Mama to come back to him, if it's just a straight up mental break, if it's a bizarre, wrong thought, cry for help, whatever it is, you have got to get off of here. This place is going to do you no favors, and you are traumatizing other people. And I just, to me, it's for attention. And here's something that when I listened to the goodbye video, I heard the inflection in his voice. Like, to me, it kind of it started going up and down at parts where I thought, well, if this is contrived, because, we speak in our normal way of speaking, unless you're trying to, put on an act or read a script or whatever, and, you're trying to make it sound like you're really sick and you're getting really sleepy, and then all of a sudden you know what I'm saying. So there was a time of that. What really made me go, oh, wait a minute, I'm fucking calling bullshit here. The zipper. Did anybody else hear it? To me, I was putting my makeup on, so I don't know if he was on the camera. I don't think he was. But you distinctly hear a zipper of what I'm guessing was probably a suitcase. It was not a pair of pants, I can tell you that. because it went on too long. So that's my thought. And I'm thinking to myself, well, wait a minute. If he was really like departing and checking out, is he going to pack a suitcase? I mean, that's what it sounded like to me. Obviously, I don't have any idea. So I really hope that I did not shoot myself in the foot by coming on here and doing this, because this isn't my situation. It's not my business. But, you know, we are all part of the same community platform when it comes down to it. I mean, some of us live on this street, some of us live on that street, but we're all in the same subdivision, let's just say, or housing project, I think I usually call it. And I listen, I tried my very best to give my absolutely honest thoughts and feelings while not, I tried very hard to not offend anyone, to not hurt anyone else's feelings, to not, the one thing that I'm going to reiterate again, because I feel that strongly about it. The one thing that this live was absolutely unequivocally not about is what happened between Smoky Mountain Mama and Rep and that situation. I am maintaining what I said. It is none of my business. I take her at her word, and she is choosing to handle it the way she thinks is best for her and her family. Period. End of story. But that doesn't mean that it's not like I'm not going to hang out with Rap. I was lurking. But it also doesn't mean that I want to see the man no longer here, okay? Because I did spend a lot of time in his chat. Once upon a time, a long time ago. That, you know, that laugh, the same reason that a lot of the people that can't stand him now, they will know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's it. Oh, Boston, since you're in here, what the hell? What is the new? I need to go to Nonsenses Live. Is there do we have an update on Lettergate? I just heard there was going to be part 2. Oh God. Well, thank you, Catherine. Honestly, I'm like everybody else, a little bit of smoke, a little bit of mirrors. But I am 100% me. This is me. I do not know any other way to be. And why would I? I mean, it's hard enough just, you know, life is hard. I have not the time, and I'm incredibly blessed. So there's just not the inclination nor the time to try and be somebody else. It's like you like me or you don't. You enjoy me or you don't. I mean, it's no skin off my ass. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, I should go. Let me just scroll up in the chat, un momento. And please, I'm never ignoring anybody when you're chatting. I just am so bad about, I get distracted by something in the chat, and then I'm on the service road. I take the wrong exit. I got to get back on the interstate. I forget where I'm going. You know, you get it. Held up traffic on Wilshire Boulevard. Injectables. What kind of injectables? Like filler? That should make it go crazy? Oh, first face. When you get your first facelift. I'll tell you what, I have a family member that had a half, just the bottom. Amazing. Amazing. Because it was done right. And it was like just, you know, just a little bit of that, not like it was from here down and it just, you know, pulled that back a little. Yeah, it was like so many women get that damn wind tunnel look. Oh, so Liza, do we know? Is he in the hospital? He needs to be. I mean, bottom line, he needs to be. If he is in Florida, like I've heard, in Florida, we have what is known as the Baker Act. And that is, I think it's 72 hours, kind of like they have everywhere, where they will, if you are deemed, if law enforcement thinks you are a danger to yourself or anyone else, they can take you into custody, take you to, you know, I'm assuming it's probably all done through the public hospitals rather than, you know, just a designated mental health facility. But yeah, they can hold you for a 72-hour evaluation. And then I think, well, I would imagine most people are like, okay, bye, get your shit together. Don't come back. But if they don't want to discharge you, I believe then they have to go in front of a judge and, you know, prove why they want to keep holding you. So, oh, Prissy, you're right. I think there are, interestingly enough, a lot of women that follow him. Oh, headstones. Betty's hair. Well, I did see a picture of Betty's hair, and I think, hey, Scapegoat, I think, oh God, what did I just see? Oh, okay, never mind. I saw the MGL thing. I was like, oh, hell no. I thought you said she was back. I was like, what? Yeah, Betty's hair. Betty looks like some kind of low rent, broke ass, wannabe unicorn looking. Oh, headstones. You'll get a kick out of this. I was laughing my ass off when I heard her say this. Blank Screen did a video of, oh, and he puts that creepy voice on in place of hers. First of all, Betty, girl, your days of appearing sleeveless, they're over, baby doll. You got to stop that. You, girl, you are meant for above, from the elbow above sleeves, okay? You have no business wearing a tank top. Unless you want to get a, you know, a dumbbell or you know, yeah, you got to do something for those aren't, no, your tank top days are over. Don't feel bad. It happens to most of us. Hasn't happened to me yet, but, I heard her say, as she was gushing about her, oh yes, Bullhorn Betty's got pink hair. Oh, that fucking cackle. God, that traumatizes me. I heard her say, well, yeah, the chat decided when Bullhorn Betty was at her regular beauty days. I swear to God, unless I misunderstood, she was trying to say like she had her regularly scheduled standing appointment at the beauty parlor. Bitch, I I don't know where you're going to the beauty parlor, the fucking Sherwood Forest. Where did Hansel and Gretel? Where were they like rolling through? Yeah, Betty stopped at the Fantastic Sam's in Sherwood Forest. Oh my God, girl, come on, you need to get a grip. You have not seen a hairdresser's chair. Well, since all your hair broke off. I cannot believe that she tried to say that. Well, all you stupid people out there who think that Bullhorn Betty, that I have broken hair. No, it's because I don't blow dry my hair and I have wavy hair. Listen, bitch. Number one, I live in Florida. I am intimately familiar with the humidity because I was born here. Number two, I also have wavy hair naturally. I could never go la naturelle because it's fuzzy looking. However, humidity does not make your hair 87 different lengths. No, your hair breaking off because you have burned every bit of protein out of the hair shaft, that, however, will cause your hair to look like that, which is exactly what you've got going on. So, oh God. Yes, the damn salon in Walmart. Hey, Hippie how you doing? Oh, girl, she did too. Oh, wait, let me see what Sticky said. She said this morning she thought the pink was too pink, so she came home and did a bleach wash. You're right, she is going to be bald. Holy shit. Actually, that'll just be more material for us. But Betty, girl. That floors me. Because I know. I don't, whether she went to the Walmart salon, the Fantastic Sam's, the Great Clips, wherever the hell the bitch went. Okay, first of all, a competent hairdresser, meaning, well, I'm not saying that stylists who work in the Walmart salons are not competent. Typically, they are straight out of school or they've been hairdressers forever, but their specialty is like roller sets. Old school shit that my hairdresser, I had to laugh. One of the last few times I was in there, somebody walked in and it was an older lady. And she said, "What do you charge for a perm?" And my hairdresser looked at her and she said, "I don't do perms." Because that's old school shit. So, and I mean, I guess there are people who still get perms, but they're done differently. And so no hairdresser who's worth her salt would ever in a million years, number one, continue to color that incredibly damaged hair. What they definitely would not do is take hair. Well, I call it hair. It's like, hey, let's face it. That hair shaft is wide open. Putting that pink on her hair, it would have grabbed that color. And I'm trying to think of like a good analogy that I could use here. Something. Oh God. I'm at a complete, like, my brain's fried. Too much talking. I know this. If you went to a skilled, highly trained hairstylist, which, newsflash, you got to pay for that kind of shit. You know, like, there's a reason that the prices are so cheap at Walmart. They're not like my hairdresser. She spends a fortune. She goes to all the hair shows that she can. And she also pays to take like master classes online. She told me some of these classes, you have to pay like $400 or $500 to do it online, where they, show the latest techniques in cutting. Like there's a lot of new like balayage techniques coming out. She told me that one of the girls that she just hired to work in her salon, she came from Texas, I think Austin. And she said some of the balayage that she does takes, she said, girl, I'm not at this point in my career. I'm not interested in, she does regular balayage. Like she does it on me sometimes, but she said, I'm not sitting on anybody's head freehanding for, she said some of these new balayage techniques take hours. But if Betty walked into my hairdresser, she already told me she would never, the only way she would take her as a client was if she was buzzing it completely off and starting over. Because she said that hair is destroyed. It's destroyed. It ain't, the ship ain't turning around. It has set sail. It's left the port. It is sinking in the middle of the Pacific. You are not going to get it back. You're not. It's just, are you going to be able to salvage? Like, are you going to have a few lawn chairs you can throw over the deck and maybe float to Cuba on? I don't know. But I know everything I need to know by the fact that there was a hairdresser who looked at that fried out, destroyed mess and said, oh yeah, sure. Yeah, we can take pure pigment. Sure. Yeah, we can put that on there. Yeah, that ought to look great. And can you imagine how many, I promise you that it's probably got multiple different hues of pink, because where the regrowth is, where it's new hair at the scalp, would have grabbed it different than all the fried off shit on the end. Oh my God. I mean, oh, Liza, my hairdresser I have got to find that interview. I actually interviewed my hairdresser and I had it on audio and I was going to play it. And I think I accidentally deleted it, but I need to find that. But to put, and she went home and put bleach. I mean, she honestly, things like that makes me question, like, is she compromised? Like, and I'm not even kidding, because I don't know too many women that are like firmly aiming for complete baldness, like she seems to be. I mean, wouldn't you think a normal thinking, logical person would know? Like, it literally blows my mind in 1,000 pieces. I don't get it. I don't understand how. But yes, I assure you, if she walked in my salon, my hairdresser, listen, my hairdresser, she's from New York. I think was she Brooklyn? One of the boroughs. She was not Manhattan. So it was either Bronx or Brooklyn. And I promise you, she is very blunt. And she would take one look at that and say, oh, hon, you know what? You need a corrective color specialist, which my hairdresser, technically, she could do that shit with her eyes closed. She's kind of like me with her career. She's not building a clientele. She only takes clients who are, we'll just say, easy to work with. She's not in the disaster correction business. Now, when she was starting out her career, maybe she would have taken her, yeah, when you're trying to, build clientele. But when you have been a hairdresser, she has been a hairdresser for close to 40 years. No, those days where you have to deal with someone who is going to be an incredible amount. Put it this way, the amount of time that would have to be dedicated, even if she would be willing to spend the money, which I assure you would be probably 2 of Betty's car payments. My hairdresser, like I said, she's from Brooklyn or Queens, one of those. She would know like that is a customer you ain't going to make happy. And nope, she wouldn't have screwed with her. Hippie, I have told Betty many times, if she makes the mistake of thinking she's going to go get a box of Miss Clairol and dump it on that porous, destroyed hair that's just wide open and will grab color like that, that shit will be green. It'll be straight up ashy green. People think, women who don't regularly, professionally get their hair done, a lot of times think that, number one, they don't understand that the shit over the counter will never. Why are your ears burning? They're not chemically strong enough to do what they think they're going to do. And you cannot just go and cover up hair that is, well, I'm not going to say mine has lots of color on it. You can't just take the absence of color, which is not really the absence of color, but you can't just go slapping brown or red, especially brown though. Thinking you can just put a brown color on top of a blonde color. Yeah, ashy green. Yeah, scapegoating, but except when she's putting muriatic acid on her head to, do her roots. Other than that, she's a vegan. Betty is very against chemicals. Oh, Zen 11. Well, I hate to put you on the spot, but would you take her as a client? Tell me how long that service would do, and if you could do it in one sitting. So pretend that she walks into your salon. Forget the pink. Take her a few days ago before she put the pink shit in there, and she walks in and says, well, we'll do 2 scenarios. Let's say in scenario number 1, she walks in and she's got this much black regrowth, and says, I need my hair done. And yeah, what I usually do is I just shampoo my whole head in bleach, but I don't have time. And I'm getting drugged for filth on YouTube. All these mean bitches tell me my hair is breaking off. Number 1, would you touch if she said, I need my roots done? And some people are like, I'm a blondeaholic, but mine's healthy. So, and Betty, interestingly enough, I'm all organic. Zen, I would tell you the name of the hairline if I knew. I did it one time. It comes from Italy. But so if Betty said, I need my roots done and I want foils, I want you to lighten it up a little bit. What are you saying? And how much are you? Sticky, I've said that before too. Yes, a waiver. So what are you charging and how long is it going to take? Are you going to do it? Oh, I might need to do an interview with you. Oh, Catherine, 2 hours? I think Betty would be in the chair for more like, purely guessing. I'm thinking it's at least a 4-hour job because you're probably going to have to Do they still do Zen? Do they still do like a filler? So I guess there wouldn't be anything to strip out because she's already stripped out everything, including all the protein. But do you still have to put like filler in there to then be able to put the color? Oh God, what a yeah. No, my hairdresser said unequivocally, no way in hell, wall clipper. That's it. Start over. Oh no, she doesn't just want the root. She's obviously she's a budget blondeaholic. So she says, I need the roots, but then I want you to lighten all because see, she's used to putting that shit on and using straight up bleach like it's shampoo. So so she's gonna want you to lighten it up. I've never honestly, I've never encountered a woman, a female like her, who. How could you get drugged every single day, up and down the YouTube streets over your hair, and you still don't stop the bleeding? That's what I don't. That's what I don't get. Yeah, Marie Antoinette style. All right, you guys. Oh, damn, I need to get into Nonsenses Live. I want to hear about Lettergate Part 2. Can you just picture this? What I'm picturing is old school, like oh, what's that movie? The Saw. What was that guy's name? The bad guy. Do you remember in one of the 87 parts? Scapegoat, I do. I saw the Shaven Bonfire. You know, in one of the what is that guy's name? Is it Jigsaw? That's not his name, is it? But in one of the parts of Saw, doesn't he do the like they cut letters out of a magazine and glue them to a page? That's what I'm picturing. Oh, bee's knees. That shit is woo! That is way above my pay grade. Neutron. Oh, neutrons, protons, and electrons. Oh my God, those were the bane of my existence. And would that have been like earth science? What science would that have been? Oh my God, I hated that shit. Oh, Liza, absolutely. Yep. I think she's only recently started even going to a salon, and probably only because listen, you know damn good and well when she washes that hair, that's why she doesn't blow dry her hair. I guarantee you, because when it's wet, it has got to be like sticky angel hair pasta, just trying to pull that shit apart. And you know, it just snaps. Scapegoat, listen, my hairdresser concurs. She didn't say we had to burn it, but she did say wall clipper, that was it. That no Olaplex, no nothing. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna head over to Nonsenses. I want to see what's going on with Lettergate Part 2. I thank you all so much for joining me. I hope that I was able to convey in a as non-biased way as possible my feelings on this. And I truly hope that anybody out there who gives a shit about rap in any form or fashion, if you care about the man, you need to do not support him on this platform. You need to support him if you feel like you need to support the man. To me, if that was me, which it's not, But if it was, my support would be conditional on getting the hell off of YouTube, because this is he is it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It needs to be. All right, everybody. I hope you have a great weekend. I swear I'm going to clip the Met Gala photos. I'm waiting to hear from Coco. I'm actually really excited about doing that. That's about it. That's all I got planned for the weekend. So I'll see y'all out here on these streets. All right. Have a good day, everybody. And I appreciate you joining me. Oh, going to get my fabulous intro and